Hi friends, let us look at linear equations. Let us solve question and answers from previous year's question papers. The question is pair of linear equations. I have written it in short form, but you should write it completely. Lin dot Lin linear, EQ dot is equations. 2x is equal to 5y plus 6 and 15y is equal to 6x minus 18. Represent, again short form for represent, two lines which are intersecting, parallel, coincident, or either intersecting or parallel. Okay, the options are A, B, C, and D. Now, first you have to always write it in standard form. That is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So writing the first equation in standard form, we get 2x minus 5y minus 6 is equal to 0. And the second equation, we get 6x minus 15y minus 18 equal to 0. Okay. Now, just check a1 by a2 and compare it with b1 by b2 and c1 by c2. a1 by a2 in this case is 2 by 6, that is 1 by 3. b1 by b2, you can see the first equation has minus 5 in for b, and second equation has minus 15 for b. So b1 by b2 is minus 5 divided by minus 15. Minus and minus cancels. 5 ones are 5 threes are 1 by 3. And c1 by c2 is minus 6 by minus 18. That also is 1 by 3. So you can see that since a1 by a2 equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2, these two lines are coincident. Okay, that they have infinite number of intersection points. So they are coincident. So C is the correct answer. Graphically, linear equations 3x minus y plus 8 equal to 0 and 3x minus y equal to 24 represent what kind of lines? Do they intersect at one point? Do they intersect at 2 points? Are they coincident or are they parallel? These are the options A, B, C, and D. So again, writing it in standard form, 3x minus y plus 8 is already in standard form. And second equation is 3x minus y minus 24 equal to 0. A1 by A2 is equal to 3 by 3, that's 1. B1 by B2 is equal to minus 1 by 1, that is also 1. C1 by C2 is 8 by minus 24. Plus divided by minus is minus, and 8 3s are 24, so it becomes minus 1 by 3. So you can see that a1 by a2 equal to b1 by b2, but it is not equal to c1 by c2. Therefore, in this case, these two lines are parallel. So D is the correct answer. There are two lines parallel. Equation of one line is 3x minus 2y equal to 5. And the equation of second line, it is already given that they are parallel. The first line is 3x minus 2y equal to 5. Second line is which one? Is it A, 9x plus 8y equal to 7, B, minus 12x minus 8y is equal to 7, C, minus 12x plus 8y equal to 7, or D, 12x plus 8y is equal to 7. Okay. Now you have to check A1 by A2 in each of these cases. Okay. So for the case A, you write the first equation in standard form, right? The first equation in standard form is 3x minus 2y minus 5 is equal to 0. That is equation 1. For case A, if you write it in standard form, it is 9x plus 8y minus 7 equal to 0. Compare A1 by A2, which is in this case 3 by 9, and B1 by B2 is minus 2 by plus 8. Okay. So A1 by A2 is 1 by 3, whereas B1 by B2 is minus 1 by 4. So obviously they are not parallel, correct? Because A1 by A2 has to be equal to B1 by B2 for the two lines to be parallel, and C1 should not be equal to C2. Again, for the case B, write it in standard form. You get minus 12x minus 8y minus 7 equal to 0. Remember, writing in standard form is a must because that's when the equations A1 by A2 will be correctly calculated. Okay, so A1 by A2 is equal to 3 by minus 12 in this case, minus 1 by 4. B1 by B2 is minus 2 by minus 8, that is plus 1 by 4. So again, this is not parallel because minus 1 by 4 is different than 1 by 4. In the case C, we have minus 12x plus 8y minus 7. A1 by A2 is minus 1 by 4. B1 by B2 is also minus 1 by 4. So C is the line which is parallel to the first line. Okay, so 3x minus 2y minus 5 equal to 0. The line which is parallel to it is minus 12x, right? Plus 8y minus 7. That is the line which is parallel to it. So C is the correct answer. Value for k for which x plus y minus 4 and 2x plus ky minus 3 has no solution. See, has no solution means that they both should be parallel, isn't it? If they are intersect at one point, then they will have one solution. If they are parallel, then they'll have no solution. If they are coincident, there'll be infinitely many solutions, correct? So, the options are minus 2, plus 2, 3, and 2. Okay. Now, writing it in standard form again, we get x plus 5 minus 4 equal to 0 and 2x plus ky minus 3 equal to 0. So a1 by a2 is equal to half, right? 1 by 2. And b1 by b2, you can see the first equation b for y is 1 and second equation the b for y, which is the coefficient of y is k. So b1 by b2 is 1 by k. Now, for no solution, lines have to be parallel, which means a1 by a2 equal to b1 by b2, which implies half is equal to 1 by k, which implies k is equal to 2. Okay, so D is the correct answer. For what kx plus 2y equal to 3 plus 3x comma 3x plus 6y is equal to 10 has a unique solution. See, unique solution means they have to intersect at a point, which means a1 by a2 should not be equal to b1 by b2. Okay, writing it in standard form, which is important. A kx plus 2y minus 3 equal to 0. Then the second equation 3x plus 6y minus 10 equal to 0. A1 by a2 is equal to k by 3. B1 by B2 is equal to 2 by 6, that is equal to 1 by 3. Okay. Now, to have a unique solution, A1 by A2 should not be equal to B1 by B2, which implies K by 3 should not be equal to 1 by 3 or K should not be equal to 1, which means for any value where K is not 1, these two lines will intersect. If K is equal to 1, then they will be parallel basically. Okay. Find C if Cx plus 3y plus 3 minus C in brackets is equal to 0 and 12x plus Cy minus C is equal to 0 has infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions means what? They are both coincident. Coincident means what? A1 by A2 equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. Okay. So for infinite solution, coincident, which implies A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. They are already in the standard form, correct? Both the equations are already in the standard form. So a1 by a2 is c by 12 and b1 by b2 is 3 by c is equal to c1 by c2 is minus 3 by c divided by minus c. We should not forget any of the positive or negative signs and we should put it correctly, otherwise we'll get wrong answer. So c by 12 is equal to 3 by c can be taken as equation number 1. 3 by c is equal to 3 minus c divided by minus c can be taken as the second equation. First equation implies when you cross multiply, you will get c squared is equal to 36, which means c is equal to plus or minus root of 36 and root of 36 is 6. So you'll get plus or minus 6. Correct. The second equation, says that minus 3c when you cross multiply is equal to 3c minus c squared, which means c squared is equal to 6c, or which means c is equal to 0 or 6. Okay, so finally we conclude that for value of c equal to 6, this two equations will have infinitely many solutions. For which k 2x plus 3y is equal to 7 and k plus 1x plus 2k minus 1 into y equal to 4k plus 1 has infinite solution. Again, infinite solution means they should be coincident. Coincident means a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. Correct? So that's what we have written. First we write it in standard form, which is 2x plus 3y minus 7 is equal to 0, and second one is k1 k plus 1 in bracket x plus 2k minus 1 in bracket y minus in bracket 4k plus 1 equal to 0. So again, substituting for a1 and a2, you get 2 by k plus 1 is equal to 3 divided by 2k minus 1 is equal to minus 7 divided by minus 4k plus 1. Okay, so 2 divided by k plus 1 is equal to 3 divided by 2k minus 1 can be taken as equation 1, and the other equality can be taken as equation 2. Okay, now cross multiplying in equation 1, you get 2 into bracket 2k minus 1 is equal to 3 into bracket k plus 1. Okay, so that is 4k minus 2, expanding brackets, you get 4k minus 2 is equal to 3k plus 3, or you get k is equal to 5. So just considering one equation has given you the value of k as the answer. Okay, find whether below are parallel, coincident, or they intersect. Okay, again they are already in standard form. 2x minus 3y plus 6 equal to 0, 4x minus 5y plus 2 equal to 0. You calculate a1 by a2, which is 2 by 4, which is 1 by 2. b1 by b2 is minus 3 by minus 5, which is 3 by 5. And c is equal to 6 by 2, which is 3. So a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, which implies they intersect, which means they have one single solution. Solve graphically x plus 3y equal to 6, 2x minus 3y is equal to 10, and find the area of the triangle. Okay, I have written it in short form, area of triangle with y-axis. Okay, now if you write it in standard form, you have to do this: x plus 3y minus 6 equal to 0 and 2x minus 3y minus 12 equal to 0. Okay, now to plot it on a graph sheet, right, to plot any line on a graph sheet, you need 2 points and you have to join those 2 points. For finding out the 2 points, for the first line, if you put x is equal to 0, you will get 3y minus 6 equal to 0. If you send 6 to the other side, you will get y is equal to 2. So that is what we have shown. For the first line, if x is equal to 0, then y is equal to 2. Okay. To get the second point, you put y is equal to 0. Then you will get x is equal to 6. Okay, so these are the 2 points through which this line passes. You need not take always x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. You can put x as 1 and calculate y, and you can put y as 1 and calculate x. All that you can do. But generally, it is a good idea to get 2 points. You put 1 as 0, get the other point, get the other variable, put the other variable as 0 and get the x variable. Like that is a good, good way, easy way, basically. Okay. Similarly, you have to do for the second line. For the second line, when you put x is equal to 0, you'll get minus 3y minus 12 equal to 0, which means if you send 12 to the other side and the 3 minus 3, if you send down, you'll get y is equal to minus 4. Similarly, when you put y is equal to 0, you'll get 2x minus 12 equal to 0. When you send 12 to the other side and 2 to the denominator, you'll get x is equal to 6. Okay. So the line, first line has 2 points through which it passes, which is 0, comma 2, 6, comma 0. The second line passes through 2 points, which is 0, comma minus 4 and 6, comma 0. Now, if you want to plot this in graph paper, this is how you would do it. You can see that AB is the first line passing through 0, comma 2 and 6, comma 0. And the second line is BC, which is passing through 0, comma minus 4 and 6, comma 0. And you can see that they are intersecting at 6, comma 0. Okay. So what is the area of the triangle? Area of the triangle ABC is half base into height. In this case, height is represented by a line which is perpendicular to the base. Remember, height is represented by a line from the other point which is perpendicular to the base. So if you take AC as the base, you can see BC is at 90 degrees, which is perpendicular, and it is coming from point B. Okay, that is the height. So what is the height of OB? OB is the height. It is coming perpendicular to base, which is AC, right? So what is the length of OB? It is 6 units. Okay. What is the length of base from point A to point C? You can count and see it is 6 units. So the area of the triangle is half base into height, that is half into 6 into 6, that is 18. Find graphically vertices of a triangle formed by the lines 2x minus y equal to 8, 5y minus x is equal to 14 and y minus 2x is equal to 1. Now note that first we have to write this in standard form, and a triangle is formed by 3 points and 3 lines. We know that. They have given the equation of these 3 lines. What you have to do is you have to, on graph sheet, plot these 3 lines. Once you plot them, you have to find the triangle formed by 3 lines. So first write it in standard form. Okay, minus x plus 2y minus 8 equal to 0, minus x plus 5y minus 14 equal to 0, minus 2x plus y minus 1 equal to 0, you have written. Okay. Now you have to find 2 points to plot each line. What is the standard technique? Put x is equal to 0, get the y. Put y is equal to 0, get the x. Okay. So let's do it for the first line. If I put x is equal to 0, 2y minus 8 equal to 0, I'll get. That means y is equal to 4. So 0 comma 4 is 1 point for the first line. What is the second point? Put y is equal to 0. You'll get x is equal to minus 8. So that is the second point. Okay. For the second line, if I put x is equal to 0, I'll get 5y minus 14 equal to 0, or y is 14 by 5. What is 14 by 5? It is 2.8. Okay. So 0 comma 2.8 is another point. Okay. And what is the third point? The third point, if I put y is equal to 0, I'll get x is equal to minus 14. That is the second point. Okay, these are the 2 points for the second line. Similarly, for the third line, how about the third line? Minus 2x plus y minus 1 equal to 0. If you put x is equal to 0, you'll get y equal to 1. If you put y equal to 0, you'll get minus 2x minus 1 is equal to 0, or x is equal to 1 by minus 2, that is minus 0.5. Okay, so here in the graph sheet, we have plotted these 3 lines. Okay, so for the first line goes through minus 8 comma 0 and 0 comma 4. Okay, that is the first line. The second line, which is a little bit tilted, goes through minus 14 comma 0 and 0 comma 2.8. Okay, right? And the third line goes through 0 comma 1 and minus half, that is minus 0.5 comma 0. Okay, so you can see that this is the first line which goes through minus 8 comma 0 and 0 comma 4. So if you can see the mouse cursor, this is the first line. Okay, and this is the second line. Okay, and this is the third line. Okay, and they form this triangle. So these 3 lines form this triangle A, B, C. Okay, so the point C is minus 4 comma 2. Point A is approximately 1 comma 1 and 3, right? Point B is approximately 2 comma 2 and 5.1, 5 units in the y-axis. So the 3 lines form triangle ABC, where A is 1 comma 1.1 comma 3, B is 2.2 comma 5.2, and C is minus 4 comma 2. Okay. Given the linear equation 3x minus 5y 11, form another linear equation so that they are intersecting, coincident, and parallel. So they want you to give 3 more linear equations, one which is intersecting, one which is coincident, and another one which is parallel. Okay. So for that, for the intersecting case, we have to take it such that a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. Correct. So if you take a1 if you consider a line a1 a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0, that is the second line, 3 by a2 should not be equal to minus 5 by b2. Correct. And if you want to achieve this, you can take a2 to be 1 and b2 to be 1 and c2 to be 1. What then will happen is 3 by 1 is not equal to minus 5 by 1, that is 3 is not equal to minus 5. So x plus y plus 1 equal to 0 is intersecting with 3x minus 5 by minus 11 equal to 0. Okay, so the way you find the intersecting line is to choose a2, b2 and c2 such that a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. Okay, second, for it to be coincident, you have to find A2, B2, C2 such that A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. That is 3 divided by A2 equal to minus 5 by B2 is equal to minus 11 by C2. Okay, what you do is very simple. You will take multiplication of everything by 2. You take A2 as 3 into 2. You take B2 as minus 5 into 2. You take C2 as minus 11 into 2. Then what will happen? A1 by A2, that is 3 by A2 will become 3 by 3 into 2. Similarly, B1 by B2 will become minus 5 divided by minus 5 into 2. And minus 11 by C2 will become minus 11 into divided by minus 11 into 2. Okay. So you get A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2 is equal to half. Okay, so if you take A2 as 6, that is 3 into 2, and B2 as minus 10, and C2 as minus 22, you will get equation 6x minus 10y minus 22 equal to 0, which is coincident with the original equation, which is 3x minus 5y minus 11 equal to 0. Okay, what about parallel? For parallel, A1 by A2 should be equal to B1 by B2, but it should not be equal to C1 by C2. Okay, so simply what you take is that means 3 by A2 is equal to minus 5 by B2, which is not equal to minus 11 by C2. So for that, what you do, you take A2 as 3 itself and B2 as minus 5 itself, which means 3 by A2 is equal to 3 by 3 and minus 5 by B2 is equal to minus 5 by 5, you will get 1. But C you choose such that it is twice C1, that is C2 you take it as minus 22. So what happens to minus 11 by minus 22? You get half, which means A1 by A2 equal to B1 by B2, but is not equal to C1 by C2. This is the case where they are parallel. Okay, so the equation 3x minus 5y minus 22 equal to 0 is parallel to 3x minus 5y minus 11. Determine graphically whether the following linear equation 2x minus 3y equal to 5 and 3x plus 4y is equal to minus 1 has unique, infinite or no solution. Okay, write it in standard form first. 2x minus 3y minus 5 equal to 0. 3x plus 4y plus 1 equal to 0. A1 by A2 is 2 by 3 and B1 by B2 is minus 3 by 4. Since A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, it has the unique solution. So to get the unique solution, you have to plot it on the graph sheet. Okay, right? To plot it on the graph sheet, what you need to do. First, you need to find 2 points for the line 1. So for the line 1, if you put x is equal to 0, you will get minus 3y minus 5 equal to 0 or y is equal to 5 by minus 3, that is minus 1.67. Okay. Similarly, if you put y is equal to 0, you will get 2x minus 5 equal to 0, which means x is equal to 5 by 2, that is 2.5. So these are the 2 points through which the line 1 goes. Okay. Similarly, for the second equation, if you put x is equal to 0, you will get y is equal to minus 1 by 4, that is minus 0.25. Okay. If you put y is equal to 0, then you will get x is equal to minus 1 by 3, that is minus 0.33. Correct. So the 2 points are 0 comma minus 0.25 and minus 0.33 comma 0. Okay. So the two lines have been plotted here. Okay. The first line goes through when it is 0, it is minus 1 comma 1.67. Okay. Somewhere here. Okay. And the second point is 2.5. Okay. 2.5 comma 0. So this point. Sorry, the first line x is equal to 0, y is minus 1.67, this is 1 unit, and this is 1.67 approximately here. And the second point is 2.5 comma 0, this is the point. So this is the first line. Yeah, you can see my mouse cursor here. This is the first line. The second line goes through 0 comma minus 0.25, that is here, correct? 0 in x-axis minus 0.25 the y-axis, right? That goes here. And the second point is minus 0.33 comma 0. So here it is minus 0.33 comma 0. So it goes through these 2 points. And the intersection is happening at approximately 1.1 and minus 0.9. Okay, that is the point of intersection. For what values of m and n do the following linear equations has infinitely many solutions? See, infinitely many solution means they are coincident. Coincident means a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. So first write it in standard form: 3x plus 4y minus 12 equal to 0, and m plus nx plus 2m plus ny minus 5 bracket 5m minus 1 equal to 0. So for infinite solution, a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 equal to c1 by c2. So substituting 3 by m plus n is equal to 4 divided by 2 times m minus n, that is equal to minus 12 divided by minus 5m minus 1. Okay. Now 2 twos are 4, it gets cancelled. So you can write this as 3 divided by m plus n is equal to 2 divided by m minus n is equal to plus minus n minus gets cancelled. So you'll get 12 divided by 5m minus 1. You can consider 3 plus 3 divided by m plus n is equal to 2 divided by m minus n as the first equation. Second equation is 2 divided by m minus n is equal to 12 divided by 5m minus 1 is the second equation. So if you sort of cross multiply 3 divided by m plus n is equal to 2 divided by m minus n, if you cross multiply, you get 3 into m minus n is equal to 2, 2 times m plus n. Okay. So 3m minus 3n is equal to 2m plus 2n. Okay, that means m is equal to 5n. That is equation number 3. Similarly, if you cross multiply from equation 2, you'll get 2 times 5m minus 1 into 12 times m minus 1 is equal to 10 times m minus 2, 12 times m minus 12n, right? Right? So you'll get 2m minus 12n plus 2 equal to 0. Or divide it throughout by 2, you'll get m minus 6n plus 1 equal to 1. So substituting for m from equation 3, you will get 5n minus 6n plus 1 equal to 0, which means n is equal to 1. And substituting back in equation 3, you will get n is equal to 5. So for m is equal to 5 and n is equal to 1, okay, the equations 3x plus 4y is equal to 12 and m plus nx plus 2 times m minus ny is equal to 5m minus 1. Those two equations will have infinite solutions. Thank you, friends.